Picture this. Your 8-year-old comes home from school completely melting down over a failed math test. In that moment, most parents jump straight into problem-solving mode or try to cheer them up. But what if I told you there's a simple brain-based shift that could not only help your child bounce back faster, but actually wire their brain for greater happiness and resilience throughout their entire life? Today, we're diving deep into the neuroscience of raising happier kids, and I'm going to show you exactly how one small change in how you respond to your children can literally reshape their developing brains for lifelong emotional well-being. The research I'm about to share comes from some of the most prestigious institutions in the world, and it reveals something that might completely change how you think about parenting. We're not talking about another parenting technique or discipline strategy. This is about understanding what actually happens inside your child's brain when you interact with them, and how you can use that knowledge to give them the best possible foundation for a happy life. Before we jump in, I need to address something that might be holding you back from implementing what we're going to discuss. Many parents worry that focusing on their child's happiness might make them soft or unprepared for life's challenges. But here's what the science shows us. Children who develop strong emotional regulation skills and positive brain patterns aren't weak. They're actually more resilient, more successful academically, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws at them. The brain-based shift I'm talking about comes from groundbreaking research conducted by scientists at MIT, Harvard, and the University of Pennsylvania. These researchers used functional magnetic resonance imaging to peek inside children's brains and discovered something remarkable about how parent-child interactions literally shape neural development. Let me tell you about what they found. When researchers scanned the brains of 36 children while exposing them to different types of conversations, they discovered that a specific region called Broca's area, which is responsible for speech production and language processing, showed dramatically different levels of activity depending on how parents communicated with their children. Here's where it gets really interesting. The children whose brains showed the most robust activity in this crucial region weren't necessarily those who heard the most words. Instead, they were the children who engaged in the most back-and-forth conversational exchanges with their parents. This finding completely challenges what researchers previously believed about child development. For decades, experts focused on something called the 30 million word gap, based on a landmark study from 1995. This research suggested that children from higher income families heard about 30 million more words during their first years of life compared to children from lower income families, and this seemed to explain differences in language development and academic success. But the new brain imaging research reveals something much more profound. It's not just about the quantity of words children hear, it's about the quality of the interaction. The magic happens in those back-and-forth exchanges where children aren't just passive recipients of information, but active participants in genuine conversation. Think about the difference between these two scenarios. In the first, you're rushing around getting ready for school, firing off instructions. Hurry up, we're going to be late. Get your backpack. Don't forget your lunch. Brush your teeth. Your child hears plenty of words, but there's no real exchange happening. Now imagine the second scenario. Your child comes to you and says, "Mum, I had a weird dream last night." Instead of brushing them off because you're busy, you pause and say, "Oh, really? Tell me about it." They describe their dream, you ask follow-up questions, maybe share a dream you had recently. This back-and-forth conversation might only last 3 minutes, but it's creating powerful changes in your child's developing brain. The lead researcher on this study, John Gabrielli, described the findings as almost magical. He said that family conversation appears to influence the biological growth of the brain in ways that scientists are only beginning to understand. When children engage in these conversational turn-taking experiences, they're not just learning language skills. They're developing the neural pathways that support critical thinking, emotional regulation, and social connection. But here's what makes this research even more powerful. The benefits of conversational turn-taking weren't limited to children from certain socioeconomic backgrounds. Regardless of family income or parental education level, children who experienced more back-and-forth exchanges with their parents showed the same positive brain development patterns. This means that every parent, regardless of their circumstances, has the power to positively influence their child's brain development through something as simple as engaging in genuine conversation. You don't need expensive educational toys or elite schools. You need to talk with your child, not just to them. Now let's connect this to the bigger picture of raising happier kids. The same neural pathways that support language development and conversational skills are intimately connected to emotional regulation and social competence. Children who develop strong communication abilities through these early exchanges aren't just becoming better talkers, they're developing the foundation for healthier relationships, higher self-esteem, and greater overall life satisfaction. Research consistently shows that people with strong communication skills are more successful in virtually every area of life. They're better negotiators, more effective leaders, and they maintain more satisfying relationships. One Harvard study even found that skilled communicators typically earn more money because they understand how to expand value for everyone involved in negotiations. But the benefits go even deeper than professional success. Children who experience frequent conversational exchanges with their parents are developing what psychologists call emotional intelligence. They're learning to recognize and express their feelings, to understand other people's perspectives, and to navigate complex social situations with confidence. Here's how you can start implementing this brain-based shift immediately. The next time your child approaches you with something they want to share, resist the urge to multitask. Put down your phone, turn away from whatever else you're doing, and engage fully in the conversation. Ask open-ended questions that invite them to elaborate. Show genuine curiosity about their thoughts and experiences. This doesn't mean you need to drop everything every time your child wants to talk, but it does mean being intentional about creating regular opportunities for these meaningful exchanges. Maybe it's during car rides, at bedtime, or while preparing meals together. The key is consistency and genuine engagement. Remember that these conversations don't always need to be deep or profound. Sometimes the most valuable exchanges happen around everyday topics. When your child tells you about something that happened at school, don't just say, "That's nice, honey." Ask follow-up questions. How did that make you feel? What did you do next? What do you think you might do differently if something like that happens again? The beautiful thing about this approach is that it naturally supports positive psychology principles that contribute to happiness and well-being. When children feel heard and valued through these conversational exchanges, they develop a stronger sense of self-worth. They learn that their thoughts and experiences matter, which builds confidence and resilience. These interactions also help children develop what researchers call meaning-making abilities. Instead of just experiencing events, they learn to process and understand what happens to them. This skill becomes crucial for emotional regulation and mental health throughout their lives. As children engage in regular back-and-forth conversations, they're also developing empathy and social connection skills. They learn to consider other people's perspectives, to express their own needs clearly, and to build the kind of relationships that contribute to long-term happiness and success. The timing of these interactions matters too. The research shows that the most significant brain development benefits occur when children are between ages 4 and 6, though conversational exchanges remain important throughout childhood and adolescence. This is when neural pathways are most flexible and responsive to environmental influences. But don't worry if your children are older. The brain remains remarkably adaptable throughout development, and it's never too late to start prioritizing these meaningful conversations. Teenagers, in particular, often crave genuine connection with their parents, even when they seem to be pushing away. One of the most powerful aspects of this research is how it reframes our understanding of quality time with children. You don't need elaborate activities or expensive experiences to positively impact your child's development. Some of the most significant brain building happens during ordinary moments when you're fully present and engaged in conversation. This approach also naturally addresses many common parenting challenges. When children feel heard and understood through regular conversational exchanges, they're less likely to act out for attention. They develop better emotional regulation skills, which reduces tantrums and behavioural problems. They also become more cooperative because they feel like valued members of the family rather than just recipients of rules and instructions. The ripple effects of this simple shift extend far beyond childhood. Adults who grew up experiencing regular conversational exchanges with their parents report higher levels of life satisfaction, stronger relationships, and better mental health outcomes. They're more likely to seek help when they need it, and more effective at building supportive social networks. From a practical standpoint, implementing this brain-based approach doesn't require additional time in your schedule. Instead, it's about being more intentional with the time you already spend with your children. Those moments when you're driving to activities, preparing meals, or helping with homework become opportunities for meaningful connection. The key is shifting from a task-focused mindset to a relationship-focused one. Instead of just trying to get through the day's responsibilities, you're actively building your child's brain and emotional foundation through every interaction. This research also highlights the importance of modeling good conversational skills for your children. When you demonstrate active listening, ask thoughtful questions, and share your own experiences appropriately, you're teaching them how to engage meaningfully with others throughout their lives. Remember that these conversations should feel natural and enjoyable, not forced or structured. Children are remarkably good at detecting when adults are being genuine versus when they're going through the motions. The goal is authentic connection, not checking a box on your parenting to-do list. As you begin implementing this approach, you might notice that your child starts initiating more conversations. This is a wonderful sign that they're feeling the benefits of being truly heard and valued. Embrace these moments, even when they come at inconvenient times, because they represent precious opportunities to strengthen your relationship and support your child's development. The long-term implications of this research are profound. We now understand that parents have the power to literally shape their children's brains through something as simple as engaging in genuine conversation. This isn't about being a perfect parent or having all the right answers. It's about showing up consistently with presence and curiosity. As we wrap up, I want you to think about one specific change you can make starting today. Maybe it's putting your phone in another room during dinner so you can focus fully on conversations with your family. Maybe it's asking your child 3 follow-up questions the next time they share something with you. Or maybe it's simply pausing to really listen the next time your child wants to talk, even when you feel busy or distracted. The beautiful thing about this brain-based approach is that it benefits both you and your child. These meaningful conversations don't just support your child's development, they also deepen your relationship and create the kind of family connection that brings joy and fulfillment to your daily life. Your children's brains are incredibly powerful and adaptable. Every conversation you have with them is an opportunity to support their development, build their confidence, and lay the foundation for a lifetime of happiness and success. The research is clear. This simple shift toward genuine conversational engagement can literally rewire your child's brain for greater emotional intelligence, stronger relationships, and improved well-being. Start today. Your child's future self will thank you for it.